we spoke on you being a decorated amateur, and we spoke on how hard your career was coming up. You lose in Olympic trials, you don't go to the Olympics, and then you lose. What was that? Your second fight?
Yeah.
Like mentally, what were you going through around that time?
Man, I remember the first time. You have this desire as a kid, right? Because you want to do it for your parents, you want to do it for your family, and when I lost the Olympic trials, I was heartbroken because I was dreaming to become an Olympian, and I said, I'm done, I'm quitting, right? And then they actually, after a couple months after that, they had called me, the Amateur Boxing Association, and they had offered me a scholarship in Michigan, and I was excited, but then at the same time I wasn't, because y'all took it from me, and now you want to get me a scholarship, and they say it wasn't the right time for you. I was heartbroken. So you know what, and at that time my dad really was the type of person that was leading the way. So he said, no, you're not going to amateur, you're going to turn pro. So I had to turn that down, but I was heartbroken because at the same time my mom wanted me to go to school, but then my dad wanted me to box because he saw the potential in me. And then when I fought my first fight, I didn't know I had power. I knocked the guy out in like 25 seconds, dropped him in 12 plus the count and all that stuff. Was like 25 seconds altogether. And then the second fight, I had somebody who was in our team, but he was like 122, 126, decorated amateur fighter. And I lost to him in the second fight. And from that point on, I was dead. I didn't care about boxing. Like, this is not for me. This is not for me. And so I kind of wanted to quit, but then we had this manager, Jackie Callan, who was James Toney's manager.
Legend.
The only female manager to start off to have a world champion. And she signed me, and from that day on, when she sees me, she would always say, the one that got away, because we worked. She was really nice and kind to us. She really took good care of us. But at that time, we moved into LA from San Francisco area, Oakland area, or San Leandro, and then and moved to LA and trained at Wild Card. But I didn't have that desire to become world champion or fighting again. I just did it because my family was there, and I was getting $1,500 a month from Jackie. So that helped with the family. I didn't have to work, I fed them a little bit. And so for me, I was very grateful for that. So I just kind of rolled with it. I just kind of made it be, you know what I'm saying? So, but I was really heartbroken when that second loss came. I didn't really care too much about the boxing. And we went to the Philippines, and after that, I just kind of quit. And then, I quit after that.
What brought you back?
Well, that's a long story. What brought me back is the guy that is responsible for all the success that I have. I grew up with Andre Ward. Andre Ward was the guy that believed in me. He'd always say, Nito, man, me and my dad, we believe in you. I think you got what it takes. And Dre would always help me out. He would pick me up from where I was at that time. It was in Sao Paulo, Richmond area, and we would go to Castro Valley, and he'd drop me off. It's like 30 minutes that way or more. He'll drop me, and then he'll drop me back off. And when he couldn't drop me off, he would drop a 20 in my bag to take the train and to take the bus and the train, to get to the gym. And to me, that was one person that believed in me. And from that moment on, I gave it a try again. But I think without that opportunity, I think I would have just been a guy that worked at a pet store. I worked at a pet store, and I didn't like being told what to do, but I had to suck it up. It was Dre that gave me that opportunity to see my potential again. And a few years after that, I became world champion.
Damn. What does that mean to you, seeing him get inducted and knowing that you're about to be inducted and knowing where y'all both came from?
I mean, for me, I've always been happy. I've always been happy for all his success. That man is kind. You know, that man is a blessing in my life. You know, his family, you know, is a blessing to me. And to see his success, you know, like when I used to remember every time he fight, I mean, it was like the emotion, like I was in the ring with him, you know, when he got hit, I'm like, oh, you know, I mean, I was loud, like he could hear me, you know, I would yell, like I was right next to him, you know. That's how it was when you know, because I owe him a lot for believing in me. The thing is, this is why I always give this example to a lot of kids, a lot of fighters that's up and coming, to help them, to guide them mentally, because Dre had done that for me. Without him, I don't think I would have been a world champion.